After a long time running, the show will never be the same, but it will return to some aspects of its origins. As the saying goes, the more things change, the more they remain the same. But is there anything more unappealing than consistency? Lucas is running for governor, and there is no way in the universe that he won't win. We saw this coming as early as When Calls the Heart Season 10 Episode 9. Hope Valley can only remain safe if Lucas is elected governor in the future. The town and all of the neighboring areas will lose the resources required for survival if he isn't. Is Chris McNally going to be off the show? That would be a big loss. He has a lot of charisma and is a fantastic performer. He can also do some very amazing emotional stuff. Hallmark Channel promised that the penultimate episode of When Calls the Heart Season 10 would feature a decision that would change Hope Valley forever. They were lying. In long time running, Lucas steps up to run for governor, which forces his fiancée Elizabeth to confront long-simmering doubts about their future together. When Calls the Heart's October 1 episode featured Lucas giving a powerful speech at the governor's ball, demonstrating his potential for success in politics should he decide to pursue it. However, he gets the chance to pursue a career in public service earlier than anyone could have predicted. Leaders of the party ask Lucas to run for governor after Balfour's opponent withdraws at the last minute. Lucas is initially hesitant. However, he also understands that he has the best chance of stopping the dishonest governor and preserving Hope Valley. When he goes to Elizabeth for guidance, she advises him to run for the race if that is his true desire. His choice is to flee. But is he acting out of self-interest or out of a desire to preserve the town that holds great significance for the lady he loves? Regardless of the reasons behind his decision, neither of them is ready for what it actually means for their relationship. Lucas will be able to put an end to the water theft in Hope Valley if his election for public office is successful. Union City Holdings is required by an injunction imposed by a judge to suspend all water diversion projects in the interim. But as Bill and Nathan ride out to meet Bernhardt Montague, who's still hanging around on the outside of town, they find that there's a loophole. The two are informed, smugly by Montague, that the injunction only covers work carried out on private property, not on public ground. Governor Balfour adds that the water diversion project will move forward full throttle after he is re-elected. Any landowners who refuse to comply will have their properties taken by eminent domain. Furthermore, Montague doesn't think Lucas really poses a threat to the governor. He informs one of his goons, there are a lot of people with a lot at stake in this project. That begs the question, what lengths would Montague go to in order to ensure the governor's continued tenure? And by running, is Lucas unintentionally placing himself in danger? Although Lucas was hesitant to enter the governor's race, once he does, he approaches it with the same enthusiasm as all of his major endeavors. Even so, he remains shaky as a rookie contender. This is particularly clear when he makes the mistake of saying in his first radio interview that, should he win, he and his new wife's son will relocate to Capital City. Elizabeth is surprised to hear that. She hasn't completely considered the implications of Lucas' victory for her, because she wants to see Hope Valley preserved. Elizabeth and Lucas discuss it, but they don't really come to a consensus. Rather, they essentially consent to cross that bridge as and whenever they choose to. Elizabeth grudgingly consents to accompany Lucas on the campaign trail in the interim. However, it's clear that she still feels a great deal of anxiety about leaving Hope Valley. Not in favor of Elizabeth leaving Hope Valley either, Nathan the Mountie. Bill's hackles instantly stand up when he brings it up on their ride to visit Montague, which may be the best indication yet that he still has feelings for Elizabeth. Nathan later confronts Elizabeth with confidence. She makes a difference in Hope Valley, where she lives. Is she truly able to go? What's more, is that what she wants? My desire is for him to win, she responds, and they will relocate if that happens. Nathan answers, well, I hope it makes you happy. With Nathan, how should we read this scene? Is he pressing Elizabeth to be honest with herself because he is a worried friend? Is his love for her the greater factor? Maybe a tiny bit of both. There's no denying that the two have genuine chemistry in this scene. Elizabeth expresses to Nathan her desire for Lucas to win. However, she is more honest when speaking with Rosemary later on, acknowledging that she is unsure about her desires. Furthermore, her hesitation extends far beyond the governor's campaign. She acknowledges that Lucas was a safe decision. However, it's possible that she has other desires. She explains, I was just so afraid of getting hurt again. I doubt that I was paying attention to my emotions. This When Calls the Heart episode features a lot of hard stuff. Thankfully, May and Mike provide us with a few amusing moments. May discovers a worried Mike hiding behind a book he took at random off the shelf during a visit to the mercantile. Unaware that he is proposing a pulpy-sounding book called Night of the Lonesome Heart, he tells her it's one of his favorites. Luckily, May turns out to be a huge fan of the book. However, when she visits the hotel to discuss it, Mike has to admit that he hasn't read it yet, but he will now. He proposes that they get together and discuss it later. To Mike's elation, May responds, "It's a date." The other major awe of this episode, quite shockingly, comes from Henry Gowan, whom a desperate Rosemary courses into watching the kids. He initially appears to be overwhelmed. However, the tough businessman shows that he has a soft side when he sings the Goldie to sleep. Elizabeth intends to carry out her plan to campaign with Lucas in spite of her reservations. However, in a scene reminiscent of Casablanca at the train station, she abruptly backs out. "You're meant to be here, but my entire life is right here," she says to him. Elizabeth begs Lucas to leave, warning him he would regret it if he stays. Lucas insists he will stay. He understands that this goes beyond the contest for governor. He remarks, "Your heart isn't there," as Elizabeth sobs in apology for causing him pain. He muses, maybe these paths are meant to be. He also acknowledges that, despite his reluctance to acknowledge it and his fear of confronting her about it, he had long believed that something wasn't right. As he bids her farewell with a kiss, he says, "I wish you all the happiness in the world." It's difficult to ignore how Nathan's harsher tone, when he said something similar to Elizabeth in their scene together, contrasts with Lucas's kind manner as he wishes her happiness. Elizabeth and Lucas appear to be over, but is there really a settlement between them? This season of When Calls the Heart has one more episode left. Elizabeth will be on Lucas's side on Election Day, according to the Hallmark episode summary, indicating that at least they get along. Elizabeth's voiceover at the start of the episode, in which she describes herself as confused and afraid of change, is another. She appears to be choosing the safety of the known over the more uncertain by calling it quits on Lucas. There's a remote possibility that Elizabeth may come to understand at the show's climax that what has been preventing her from giving Lucas her heart is her fear of change and letting go of everything she shared with her late husband Jack. However, Elizabeth might be free to move forward with Nathan in the climax if things are truly over between her and Lucas. There seems to be a connection between them based on the scene in the school. Is it real love, though? Elizabeth should probably wait to enter another relationship because her emotions have been all over the place for the previous few weeks. The When Calls the Heart Season 10 finale will hopefully provide some clarity on her desires and what's next for Hope Valley. It will premiere on Hallmark Channel on Sunday, October 15 at 9 p.m. Eastern Time.